Don't y'all just love this weather? Can I get an amen? Anybody love the weather? Cool. You're crazy. So I'm Craig Finnis. I'm the pastor here at the Water's Edge. Thanks so much for worshiping with us this morning. If you're new to us, double thank you for being here. We know it's your first time, but we'd just love to have you come back. We'd love to get to know you. So thank you so much for being with us this morning. To all those of you who are online, welcome as well. Put in the comment section about how God is speaking to you, and that's one of the ways that you can worship this morning. So we're in the middle of a series called Brand New. So I was thinking this morning I'd like a brand new location. So I was thinking if I could go anywhere this morning in the continental United States, where would it be? And of all the places I've been, I think I'd probably choose Orange County. I've been there like 3 times in my life. Once was I did my cousin's wedding. Once I went to a leadership seminar that I went to, and once we actually had a team from our church that went and interviewed an architect in Orange County. They had just done some phenomenal work with new churches, and we went out and saw what they did. And those are my 3 experiences with Orange County. But one of the things that I love about it is like you can actually like be on the beach, like Huntington Beach or Laguna Beach or Newport Beach, and you can actually like see the mountains from the beach, and like it's such a cool thing. And Orange County is 3% of the world has this sub-Mediterranean climate, like where Jesus would have lived in Palestine. Israel, that would be one of them, but Orange County is part of the other 3%, where really the temperatures during the day most of the year, like in the upper 70s, and the low temperatures are in the upper 60s, and like that would really feel amazing right now. Now, I Googled it, and it's 22 hours and 8 minutes to drive to Orange County from Omaha. Now, I would not actually know how to get there. I could stumble upon it. I know that you have to go south, and I know you have to go west, and you have to go west some more, then you go south some more, and like you could eventually get there. Now, to find the quickest way to get there, though, you go to like Google Maps, you type in 19600 Harrison Street. Then you type in like, how do I get to Laguna Beach? How do I get to Irvine? So it's not a problem. And to get to this brand new location then, it's like this, just this series of steps, this series of really predictable steps that we have to take to get from point A to point B. Now, to experience brand new in our life, it's the exact same thing. All we need to do is just like take this series of predictable steps, and eventually we'll find ourselves at this brand new location, whatever that is. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a journey to Orange County this morning. But we're actually not going to go to Orange County. We're going to go to brand new. We're not going to go to some brand new location. We're going to go to a brand new location in our lives. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to clear the memory. So if I was going to go to Laguna Beach, I would actually need to get rid of all the previous locations in my Google Maps, right? So all these suggestions would come up, and it would be the places that I visited recently. I know my way around Omaha pretty well, so really the only time I use it around here is if I'm going to someone's specific address, which I do quite a bit. So I have a lot of your addresses in my Google Maps just to help me get there and to get there quickly. I would have to, take those out because those suggestions are not going to be any longer my desired location. Now, we have to do this in life as well. We have to remove these previous addresses to get to the brand new location. So some of you in your Google Maps, you have like an address named Guilt. So this is something that you've done. It's a mistake that you've made. It's a self-destructive behavior that you have participated in, one that you've had. So we've got to get rid of this guilt in our life to experience a brand new life that doesn't include guilt. For some, it's the address is going to say shame. Now, shame isn't something we've done. Shame is something that's usually done to us. So somebody said something to you, somebody hurt you in a certain way. You have a belief about yourself that isn't true, but that's shame that you carry. And for you to get to the brand new destination in your life, We've got to get rid of shame. We have to delete that from our address fields. Some of you, it's perfectionism. So you want a life that is free of anxiety and disappointment. Well, that's not going to happen until you can delete perfectionism from the address fields, because perfectionism will always land you in those two places. Some of you, you want to experience relational freedom, but you have a codependent relationship with somebody else. You don't believe that your life is going to be possible without them in your life. So what you do is you cling on to this dream that this person's eventually going to change, and this person's not going to change. So this person then is going to prevent you from experiencing brand new. Now Paul, listen to what he says. Listen to what Paul has this laser focus here in Philippians chapter 3, when he says, I focus on this one thing. So he's got the word focus, and he's focusing on one thing, not two things, not three things. Forgetting the past. So forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. Now here's something you just got to learn in life. You cannot simultaneously live in the past and in the present. It's just not possible. You can't do it. Your brain is not wired that way. You can't live in the past and the present simultaneously. You have to choose one. So experiencing brand new, what you'll have to do is you'll have to choose the present. We got to delete some of those old locations in our life to experience the brand new. Now, number 2, we have to plug into the source. So if I was going to try to find, I would need a signal, from my phone to my, the cell phone carrier, some kind of Wi-Fi network to say, okay, Craig, here's how you get from Gretna to Laguna Beach. I need a signal on my phone to allow the phone to do that. So let me just make this real. So let's just assume we'll do a quiz. So who in your house have lost a Wi-Fi signal in the last 12 months? Okay, so who of you who have kids in the house who are doing homework and playing Fortnite have lost a Wi-Fi signal in the last 12 months? I mean, if you want to see kids emerge from the woodwork, all you got to do is just unplug the Wi-Fi just for 5 seconds. And they're going to come down, they're going to come up, they're going to come over wherever they were. Is your internet working, Daddy? So the world's going to end, right? I'm not speaking this from experience or anything. The Fortnite game, it gets over, and the timed right for English, it's going to have to be restarted. And what about this, though? Man, what if, we lost our direct connection to God like that? Okay, so now we just say it's normal. Now it's okay, I'll get it back sometime. It's not that important. I still got my Wi-Fi signal with my phone. What if we as God's children have the same type of passion for our connection with God as our device has with a Wi-Fi carrier? We would fix things right on the spot. It's okay, I'm going to pray. I'm going to just pray until I have this connection. I'm going to read some scriptures until God speaks to me. I'm going to, go to worship, and whatever I need to do to get that signal back, that connection back with God, I'm going to do it. So Jesus says in John 15, yes, I am the vine, so he's the vine. Then he says that we are the branches. Now those who remain in him, so here's the promise. Those who remain in me, and I in them. So when we remain in him, he remains in us. And then here's the product of the promise, that much fruit will be produced. So if we're going to go to say Irvine, California, one of the things that we would take with us is some type of charger for our phone. Whether we plug it into the car, whether it's some type of portable charger that we can plug into, because we wouldn't want the phone to lose its signal, because we wouldn't want to lose the Google Maps. Now, to be brand new, Jesus says this, we remain in God, and God will remain in us, and much fruit will be created. Now, if you're looking for brand new apart from God, I'm not sure if you're looking for the right brand new. There's a loving parent in heaven who knows and wants what is best for us. What he wants is for his dreams for our brand new to become our dreams for our brand new. Now, number 3, find a few people to take a road trip with. So if I did decide, like, okay, this weather's just too much, this is kind of a light week, I am leaving to Orange County after church, I would not go out alone. Now, there's a number of reasons I would not take this trip alone. One of them is, like, just fatigue. Like, driving 22 hours and 8 minutes. And that's like if you're someone like me, like a pastor that follows all the driving regulations. I've seen the way some of y'all drive. You could probably do it in less than 20, I'm guessing. But you still, like, would not do it alone. You wouldn't do it alone because it's so much more doable. It's so much easier with other people. But then it's also going to be more enjoyable, and it's going to be more doable with other people. Can you imagine, like, driving over the Rocky Mountains in Colorado? And wouldn't it be so much more cool to, like, look at those beautiful mountains and have someone to share it with than to take that trip all by yourself? Or I'm guessing, like, somewhere in Utah or New Mexico where it's just, like, brown dirt, like, forever, and that's all you can see. It would be really cool to have someone to talk to. So Ecclesiastes says, 2 people are better off than 1, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help, but someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Likewise, 2 people lying close together can keep each other warm. But how can one be warm alone? A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but 2 can stand back to back and can conquer. So I'm going to tell you this. You are not going to get to much of a brand new if you can get to this brand new by yourself. I think that we all need other people to bring out the absolute best brand new in each of us. There's been numerous studies on beginning marathon runners. So they looked at people that had very little fitness before they started training, and they looked at the people who were unsuccessful and the people who were successful at completing their first marathon. Now, if I were to say, like, what do you think the biggest predictor of success would be for a new runner becoming a successful marathon finisher? We might say something like prior levels of fitness. We could say age. We could say gender. We could say location, and you'd be wrong. The number 1 predictor by far, there's not even a close second place. The number 1 predictor by far is did they have a training partner and were they part of a group? That was by far the most important thing. And it's because of this. We as people need 2 things. We need encouragement, and you can throw support in there, and we need accountability. So imagine, like, we're on a training run, and I've never run, like, 13 miles before, and I'm at mile 10. And we're only, like, halfway to where we're going to be, like, 3 or 4 months from now. But imagine if you have someone running beside you that says, Craig, we're almost there. Like, we only got 3 miles to go, and you can do this. And once you can do this, you can do the long run next week. And once you do the long run next week, all of a sudden you're going to be able to cross that finish line. And you have someone telling you that, you start to believe it. And then when you start to believe something, you can actually do it. So that support and encouragement is going to be one of the things we need. And the other thing we're going to need is accountability. So if I had a training partner, and let's just say his name was Fred, if I had a training partner and I was supposed to meet Fred at Lake Zorinsky at 6 o'clock this morning, if Fred was waiting for me at the bridge at Lake Zorinsky at 6 o'clock this morning, there's about 100% chance that I would have shown up because somebody's waiting for me. That accountability is a real blessing. It's a real grace to both parties. Now, if there was nobody waiting for me at the bridge at Lake Zorinsky this morning, there's an absolute 0% chance that I would have been there this morning because a warm bed or a hot shower or, like, anything else would have been better. So find a few people to take the road trip with. Okay, number 4 is going to be determine your current location. So how you get to Orange County is going to be a huge difference if you start in Omaha or Chicago or Nashville or Atlanta or Denver. You have to figure out, like, where is it that we're starting from? Now, your journey to brand new can't start where you used to be or where you want to be. Your journey has to start where you are currently located. So I'm just going to give an example. Let's just say that some of you want to be brand new as far as your personal finances go. Well, what do you need to do? You need to figure out where you're at. Like, okay, here's how much I owe. Here's how much I have. Here's how much I make. Here's how much I'm currently spending. I cannot imagine moving to the next step until you know those things. Like you got to start where, and then you can't go to that place like, well, gosh, I wish I wouldn't have, bought all those shoes or took all those trips or, bought all those gadgets because now I have all this debt. And then all of a sudden you start defeating. You can't do that. Like you just start where you're at. It's where you're at. Here the facts are going to be our friends. The journey to 1,000 miles. It begins with a single step. If I'm going to Laguna Beach this morning, the first thing I have to do is back out of my driveway. The second thing I have to do is pull out of my subdivision onto Harrison Street. The third thing I have to do is drive down Harrison to 204th. Like this, the journey of 1,000 miles, it begins with a single step. So let's just say that, let's go back to the finances. Let's say that you want to experience financial freedom. One of the things you're going to have to do is pay off your credit card debt. Let's just say there's 3 credit cards, and between these 3 credit cards, you owe $30,000, and you're paying 15% interest, and you're just getting behind every month, more behind. So you pay off credit card A. That's the first single step. The second single step is you pay off credit card B. The third single step is you pay off credit card C. Then all of a sudden, you're getting some more hope. You're getting some more freedom. But you got to start where you're at. You can start nowhere else. Not where you want to be, not where you used to be, but where you are. All right, number 5, you have to type in your desired destination. So let's say that I want to go to Orange County. I would actually have to type in Laguna Beach, California. This is where I want to end up. And I want you to know, you are not going to stumble upon brand new. This is going to be the most important step for many of us. What does our brand new look like? Because until you can answer that question, what does your brand new look like? You're not going to experience brand new. You will not stumble upon God's brand new for your life. So let's just say that you want to have a marriage that thrives. Let's just say that for those of us who are married, we want to do better than what we're currently doing. We want to experience more than we are currently experiencing. Let's just say that's my brand new. That's my Laguna Beach, okay? Now, Proverbs says this. Proverbs says in chapter 29, verse 18, it says, where there is no vision, the people will perish. Where there is no vision for a brand new marriage, it's not going to happen. Where there's no vision for financial freedom, it's not going to happen. So let's go back to the marriage thing. Say this is what you want to do. You want to have a better marriage. Well, here's the vision of how this is going to happen. So let's just say 1 out of every 7 nights, once a week, you put this relationship before and above and ahead of everything else. You go see a movie, you go have dinner, you go to the gym, you go for a drive, you stay home and you make pizza together, whatever it is, you do it. You unplug from the devices, you find a babysitter for the kids. Heaven forbid you miss a practice or a game. You say you want to have this happen, it's going to have to happen. And it's so let's say another way to do it is be okay, 6 days a week. We don't know if we can do it all 7, so we'll try for 6. We're going to try to spend 15 minutes together, just the 2 of us. Maybe the kids get to bed early. Maybe we get up early. Maybe we, meet after work. However it works out. If there's no vision for this, we're not going to stumble upon it. Have you ever read the book, The 5 Languages of Love? I've never read it before. I've had a couple chapters read to me before, but I heard it's a great book. So you read that, and it is a great book. So you read it, and you love the other person in the way that's most meaningful. You can go see a therapist. You can walk into a therapist's office. You have permission to do this, and the therapist will say, "Okay, so why are we all here today?" and that you would say like, okay, we have a really good marriage and we want to make it better. Can you help us? And that you'll put a smile on that person's face, I guarantee it, because they would love to help you try to do that. But it doesn't happen on accident. You're not going to stumble upon it. Where there is no vision, thy people will perish. Number 6, you create a strategy to go from point A to point B. So if I was to drive to Laguna Beach today, I would have to have a strategy, right? I would have to know that there's probably some hotel I'm going to have to stop at. I'm going to need to eat. I'm going to need to pack some stuff. Like, there's got to be a strategy. I'll drive to, York, and you can drive the rest of the way. I mean, whatever the strategy is. So think about this. This is Jesus. But don't begin until you count the cost. For who would begin construction of a building without first calculating the cost to see if there was enough money to finish it? So I'm guessing this was about 3 years ago or so. Like, we were all so excited. The building team, the leadership team, I think the staff was there. There's probably about 30 of us in the room, and we met with the architect, and the architect was going to unveil like our building to us, and it was beautiful, it was elegant, it was big. It was also twice what we could afford. So I told the architects, one of them was a friend of mine, I said, so you were aware, like, we had a budget on this, right? And, they scrambled, and a couple weeks later they came back and got pretty close to what you see right now. But, like, that was a necessary conversation that we had with them because, like, we couldn't have afforded it and been able to do ministry at the same time. We had to calculate the costs, and you have to have the strategy to get from point A to point B. Now, there's an old axiom that exists. And the old axiom is this: when you fail to plan, what you're doing is you're actually planning to fail. Now, this old axiom is still around because it's still true. We've got to strategize and make a plan. So that's number 6. Number 7 is commit to making consistent progress. So when I was a kid, I grew up in Northwest Iowa. A lot of times we would go to Des Moines, like once we're like 15, 16, 17 years old. Des Moines was just kind of like the fun place to go for the day. So 4 or 5 of us would pile into somebody's car, and we would go from our little town about 150 miles to the southeast to Des Moines, and it would take forever. Now, the reason it would take forever is every 7 miles in Iowa, there's a town. In every town, there's a Casey's. And when you have like 4 teenage boys or 5 teenage boys, there's candy and there's chips and there's soda, and we had to stop pizza, and we had to stop at every single Casey's. And like, you get to Des Moines, it's getting dark, like we had to turn around and drive home. Now imagine if that were the case, driving with my 4 friends to Laguna Beach. I mean, we'd be retired before the time we got to the beach. So like, you got to commit to making consistent progress, and take a lesson in Proverbs verses 6 through 8. Take a lesson from the ants, you lazy bones. Learn from their ways and become wise. So learn from the ants. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor all summer, gathering food for the winter. It's like consistent progress. I mean, we want our brand new to like be like this microwave oven, and we put something in there, and 45 seconds later, it's edible and it's good. Now, some of you aren't going to like the words that come on the screen, but if you want to get to brand new, you're going to have to welcome 2 new friends into your life, and these friends are going to be patience and progress. Your brand new is not going to happen next Sunday when we finish this series, for most of us anyway. The brand new is going to be something that happens over time. This developed. Number 8, I just have 7 left, so just bear with me for a little bit. I'll be done before the football game starts. I'm just glad someone liked that. Thanks, Corey. When the unexpected happens, don't quit, continue. All right? So let's say that I convinced like 3 of you to go to Laguna Beach with me. Any takers? That'd be the trip of your life, I'll tell you that right now. So let's say we get in between Lincoln and York and we get a flat tire. So what do I do at this point? I call my mom and dad and come and get me. help me, like I got a flat tire. Or you can like put your spare tire on. You can drive to York. You can have someone in York who fixes tires, fix your tires. And you can drive the remaining 21 hours and get there. Like there's no trip to Laguna Beach. There's no trip to our brand new that's going to not have some derailments and some detours. Paul says in Galatians, let's not become weary about doing good, for all at the proper time will reap a harvest if we do not give up. The harvest is ours for the taking if we decide to continue and not quit. So let's say that you're brand new is you're going to have some emotional health by the end of 2019. In fact, you're going to be a pretty emotionally healthy person by the end of 2019. And let's just say that you deal with the issue of self-esteem. You know, maybe like when you're a kid, you didn't get the attention that you needed. Maybe the parents were too tough on you. You know, maybe you didn't like make a sports team or get into the right college. Maybe you graduated from college and all your friends got these really cool jobs and you didn't. Like whatever it is, like let's just say that self-esteem is an issue for you. Now, as you strive for healthy self-esteem, brand new, healthy self-esteem by the end of 2019, I want you to know that you're going to have some detours and there's going to be some derailments. You know, somebody you trust is going to say something to you that hurts. Somebody that you wish would say something to you ignored you or neglected you. You know, it's not going to be this straight, easy path toward emotional health in the area of self-esteem. It's going to be a rocky ride, but we have a choice. When we mess up, or when someone messes us up, or when the derailments happen or the detours happen, don't give up. Get up, and just keep moving forward. Don't quit. Continue. Now, number 9. Evaluate movement and re-examine your destination. So let's just say that like you took the northern route to get to Orange County and you got to the mountains and you would actually have to go through Breckenridge, Colorado to get to Orange County. And some of us are going to say, you know what, this is actually pretty cool right here. I could do this. I could stop here and I could ski. I could hang out at the chalet. This looks like a really cool alpine village. I need to go no further. And you're brand new, wasn't what I expected, but through this constant process of reevaluating, you found a better brand new. You know, some of you might get to St. George in Utah, which is a road you'd have to take. And you get to this place, and it's absolutely gorgeous as you stand at the foothills of these mountains, and it's this quiet, quaint place, and you couldn't imagine any better place than that, and you stop. You know, some of you get to Las Vegas, and you see all the bright lights in the big city, and it's like 80 degrees, and you say, I have to go no further because I found my brand new. And, you know, some of you get all the way to Laguna Beach, and you look at the ocean, you look at the mountains, and you smell the surf, and like, this is my brand new, but we got to keep evaluating. You know, and one of the things that's going to be necessary is to celebrate little wins along the way. Like, have you ever been in a car with a kid? Like, you're going to Laguna Beach, and you've made it to Waverly, and they say, how much further is it? Well, it's not much further now, just about 21 hours and 45 minutes, and you get to Lincoln, and how much further is it? And but, you know, you make adjustments, and you keep becoming brand new. Now, number 10, the last one, is you enjoy, embrace, and experience your brand new destination. And this is, I think, going to be the challenging one for a lot of us. Let's go to the Bible, then I'll explain it, then I'll pray, okay? Isaiah in chapter 43 says this, forget the former things and do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. So let's just say that your brand new is going to have to do with forgiveness. And let's just say that it has to do with forgiveness of somebody who hurt you. Now, this person said something, this person did something, this person didn't do something. This person that you trusted really messed you up. Now, that was last week, that was last year, that was 5 years ago. And you still carry like the anger and the resentment toward that person. Now, this person has totally moved on with their life. They may or may not even have forgotten the event even happened. But you wake up in the morning and like you're angry at this person. You go to bed at night and you don't sleep as well because you have such bitterness toward this other person. And your brand new here is going to be getting to the place where you can forgive that person. Now here, forgiveness is not the weak thing to do. It's not the easy thing to do. Forgiveness is actually the hard thing to do, but it's the right thing to do. Now here you say to the person, okay, I forgive you. Do what you want with it. You may not even know that I need to forgive you, but I do. If there's any shame you carry, like just let it go. Me and you are fine. Now they can do whatever they want with that, and that doesn't affect you. What affects you is you actually getting to the place where you can say, I forgive you. Because what you're saying is something like this: I'm going to choose to move on with my life. Yeah, you hurt me 5 years ago, you hurt me 5 days ago, and I am not going to let you continue to hurt me anymore. That part of my life is done. That's the old stuff. That's been deleted from the Google Maps, and I got a brand new location. The brand new location that's a whole lot better than guilt and resentment and anger and bitterness that I carry toward you. So here then, like the forgiveness of someone else, it's not your gift to them, it's your gift to yourself, and it's God's gift to you. Now, you have every right to be right. You have every right to hold this over them, but you have to know that that's going to come at a high cost. The bitterness and the resentment, that's a very high cost to pay for your ability to be right. So you say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to move on because I care about myself. So we get to this place of becoming brand new. What I want is for us to enjoy and embrace and experience this brand new destination of being a forgiving person so that we can experience the future that God has for us. Remember, we cannot live in the past holding on to old grudges and live in the present and enjoy the day that God has uniquely given us at the same time. We have to choose one or two. Choose brand new. So let's pray. Lord, I come to you this morning on behalf of all of us. And Lord, all of us want to become brand new in various ways. Lord, maybe it's a financial thing. Maybe it's an addiction or a compulsion that we just has a stranglehold on us. And Lord, we want to experience freedom. Lord, maybe it's a relationship that we want to have be brand new. Maybe it's a good relationship that we want to be better. Maybe it's a struggling relationship that we would just settle for good at this point. Lord, physically, I know that there's many of us that want to be brand new. We want to be lighter. We want to be healthier. We want to sleep more. Lord, there's many of us that want to be emotionally brand new. That maybe it's something like that self-esteem or anxiety or depression. These are real issues for us that we deal with many times every day. And Lord, we just want to be brand new. We want to experience peace and contentment and gratitude and generosity. And Lord, I know that for many of us, we have come to this specific place to become spiritually brand new. Lord, maybe we need to be forgiven and accept the forgiveness that you offer us so that we can be right with you and right with ourselves. Lord, maybe we need to forgive somebody who has offended us and hurt us so that we can move on with this life that you give us. Lord, maybe we come to this place where we just don't see a lot of hope right now, and we want to experience a brand new hope that comes from you. Whatever it is, Lord, help us to take this path from where we are to where you want us to be. Help us, Lord, to, if there's any of us, God, that are thinking about quitting, don't let us quit. Help us to continue. God, surround us with men and women and friends and people who will inspire us and encourage us and hold us accountable so that we can get to this brand new destination with their help, with your grace, and through our courage. So God, we come to you now and we seek brand new. And as we seek brand new, we pray together in one voice the prayer that you taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. Well, I hope you all have a great day, and we'll see you here next Sunday at the Water's Edge.